It is in the live. Okay, fine, fine. Congratulations. At last you have achieved. Fine, fine. Yeah. It's no problem. This is the first time you are learning. It happens to all the programs.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. People are easily getting into Google Meet today, is it not?
Yes, madam. Yeah.
Since the participants are 100, I hope that we can start today. We can start now.
Victor sir? Sir,
Because
ma'am is asking whether we can start now.
yes, initial sessions are very much interesting. If you wish me to wait, I will wait. At the final, yeah. Okay. Because beginning sessions will be more interesting. I hope so. So let them join. But the slide is not shown in YouTube. I hope so. Who is giving? Yeah, I'm hearing my voice. I'm hearing. I should cut YouTube link now. So otherwise, I will be hearing my voice itself, my lecture itself. Okay. Oh. There are two slides means regarding your college code. Okay, I hope that we can start. I will cut the YouTube link because it's hearing to me. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. We can start. Okay, thank you. Happy morning to all. I heartily welcome you all to the third day. That is the final day of our program. a 3-day national level FDP on fuzzy clustering techniques and its applications. I start with the quote that let's all pray for the total elimination of corona from this universe. By combined prayer, I hope we can totally eliminate and we all enjoy safe and prosperous life. For the past 2 days, we have seen some preamble. As a preamble, one, we have seen introduction of fuzzy logic and fuzzy sets. And as a preamble, two, we have seen what is clustering and what is K-means clustering. Today, we have come to the main topic of FDP. So I have removed the word preamble. Topic of discussion is fuzzy clustering techniques and its applications. Objective of today's FDP is, after the completion of today's lecture, participants will be able to travel towards expertising in fuzzy clustering techniques. And they will develop the habit of digging research articles and industrial applications of fuzzy clustering techniques and also in their topic of interest. And they will be able to recap fuzzy clustering techniques and its related topics. They will be able to understand introduction, preliminaries, and procedures of fuzzy clustering techniques. They will be able to perform problems in fuzzy clustering techniques, and they will be able to understand the tools available for fuzzy clustering technique, know about books and e-books on fuzzy clustering technique. They will be know about funding agencies for applying projects in fuzzy clustering technique. Let us get into the topic. As I told as the first objective, you will be able to travel towards expertising in fuzzy clustering technique. The topic we are going to see in our lecture. This is a session towards expertise on fuzzy clustering and its applications. How can we go towards expertise? That can be through knowledge in the topic and how fuzzy math is applied in real life situations. The above requirement can be achieved through digging research articles, industrial applications, attending conferences, FDP, seminars, workshops, group discussions, etc., either in person or through webinars. And important research articles regarding fuzzy sets are fuzzy sets and systems and elsewhere journals. With respect to the industrial applications, we are going to see about Spotify, Amazon, Netflix, and YouTube. Today also we are using YouTube a lot. And these are the important informations regarding how to become expertise on fuzzy clustering. Let us get into the digging some research articles. As a sample, I have exhibited here 2 research articles. The title of the research article here is Survey of Utilization of Fuzzy Technology in Medicine and Healthcare. Here you can observe that there is no word regarding clustering. Simply they are using fuzzy sets and fuzzy logic alone. In brand Elsevier, name of journal is Fuzzy Sets and Clustering. What they have told here, human minds work from approximate data, extract meaningful information from massive data and produce crisp solutions. Since we are dealing with approximate reasoning and we are arriving at the crisp solutions, fuzzy logic provides a suitable basis for the ability to summarize and extract from the masses of data as human did. Impinging upon the human brain, impinging means matching with. Which is matching with the human brain? Fuzzy logic. Because of that, medicine field has taken fuzzy logic into its hand for giving tremendous research and applications. Those facts are related to the performance of the task at our hand. That is one of the information regarding how fuzzy sets simple fuzzy sets, not any clustering techniques, not any other core techniques. Just the overlayer of the fuzzy is used. In the first day of the lecture, I even told the thankful with the coloring, fuzzy in coloring. Look to the journal name, Applied Soft Computing. This also belong to Elsevier brand. Coloring image segmentation using fuzzy clustering. Here they have used fuzzy clustering for coloring image. They are using fuzzy clustering for segmenting color image. For segmenting means for clustering. The most basic attribute for image segmentation is the luminance amplitude for monochrome image. Monochrome means only one color, and the color components for a color image. Since there are 600 million colors available in 16 million colors available in any image, and it is difficult to analyze the image on all of its colors, the likely colors are grouped together by means of image segmentation. The likely colors means clustering concept comes into the picture. Since color is grayscale level, so they are going to adopt fuzzy clustering for that purpose. Soft computing techniques, namely fuzzy C-means, have been used. This is the information regarding how fuzzy clustering is incorporated in the segmentation of color image, because the color image contains many components and 60 million colors are available in any image. See to the DADI. Let us see that. From the core subjects or topic, there is an evolution of techniques, and in order to manipulate large data sets, of the technique evolved, we require tools. With the help of the tools, we can incorporate with the latest technologies, and that technology will be applied or used by the end users. And from the feedback of the end users, we are going to do the modifications in the techniques. Once again, this cycle proceeds. That modification will be done either in the part of the topic or exactly in the technical part itself. Example, the core subject we have seen for the past 2 days are core topic. 2 subjects, one statistics, another one transformation technique, and also metric space, Lagrangian multipliers. I told these informations in the required mathematics for doing clustering. Through this technique, through this core subject or core topic, there is an evolution of technique called as K-means and fuzzy C-means. By the previous research articles, we have come to understand their enormous applications. Since the data are very large, surely to apply this technique to the above applications, they would have been used some tools. Let us see what are the availability of the tools in the last session of our lecture. Tools may be MATLAB, Python, and Colab. MATLAB and Python are ground level tools. Colab is the cloud tool. These are the interesting information. With this interesting information, we are going to get into another topic. The topic is we are going to incorporate techniques and tools in the form of recommender system. You will be hearing this as a new one, or someone may be working in this area. Let us see this recommender system. From the first word itself, we can come to understand why I could have taken this heading in this topic of today. Cluster of recommender system application consists of mainly 8 domains. Look to these words, cluster. Because of this concept, I have taken the simple and day-to-day application, what we are involving in it. Recommender system applications consist of main 8 domains in its cluster. That means they have clustered this clustered this system into 8 domains. What are they? E-government, e-business, e-commerce, e-library, e-learning, e-tourism, e-resource services, and e-group activities. Look to the last word. That means we are now in e-group activities. We are now in e-group activities. That is some person is conducting this activity through E, and we people are all attending same activity through E. So we are having group activity through this E. Attending FDPs, quiz through Google Forms, meetings, online classes, etc. comes under this E group activity, which we all know very well. What do you mean by recommender system? Let us have a glance on this picture. This picture tells about two different informations. They are customers who bought this item also bought this. That means customer, those who are buying this item, recommends this item also to buy this. We all will be buying in the online mode. There you could see that when you are buying a thing from the web means they will be giving recommendations that you can also buy this. People who have showed interested to buy Samsung also showing interest to buy Nokia of this particular attributes. So that is called as recommender system. This might be very much interesting. We are going to see for a few minutes how this recommender system uses clustering techniques. Look to this statement. This is very much interesting. The age of search has come to an end because at the beginning only we were very much interested in searching. The age of search has come to an end. That means what has come into the picture? Long live the age of recommendations. We are not going to search anything by ourselves. By recommendation offered by others, we are going to buy the thing. We are not going to buy the thing which we are interested, but on the basis of the recommendation given by the other people, we have started to search and we have started to buy. We are leaving the age of information and entering into the age of recommendation. 10 years back, we will be saying that we are living in the era of information technology. Now it is totally removed and we are in the age of recommendation. The race to create a smart Google. Yes, nowadays we are feeling this corona period that there is a race to create smart Google. That means Google has to do everything for us. Google has given Google Meet, Google has given YouTube Link, Google has given a lot more information. Google has given Google Word document, Google has given a sharing Excel sheet, everything Google has started to give to us. The web, they say, is leaving the era of search and entering one of discovery. What do you mean by discovery? Unknowingly getting an information is the discovery. Columbus invented America or India? Which one? He has not already known that he is going to discover that particular country. But without, we are going to search something, but we will be arriving at the other one, that is discovery. So while we start to do Googling, we will be starting with our area of interest. But because of the pop-up windows, we will be landing to the unknowing information, or we will be landing in any important and useful discovery also, because pop-up windows will be coming based on our interest. What's the difference? Search is what you do when you are looking for something. Yes, search means what you do when you are looking for something. Discovery is when something wonderful that you did not know existed, we did not know whether it is existing or not, and did not know how to ask, but finds you. That is the discovery. What is meant by recommender system? Let us understand the system through just a minute of our technique, of our skill or trick. Which of the following network you recommend or prefer for handling e-group activity? Which of the network? Based on your experience, you are going to recommend Airtel, BSNL, Jio, all or none. That is your personal answer. I won't ask you now. Which of the following remedial measures are recommended for curing corona disease of the non-availability of medicine? Which of the following remedial measures are recommended for curing corona because of the non-availability of medicine? Hand washing, social distancing, health and hygiene, food, exercise. You have to recommend as you practice. Which of the following video communication services you recommend for virtual meeting? Google Meet, Zoom, Cisco WebEx, Microsoft, none or all. By going through all these questions, now you come to understand clearly about what does this recommender system do to us and how clustering technique is going to be utilized by this recommender system we are going to see now. What a recommender system is. A recommender system or a recommendation system is a subclass of information filtering system. This is information filtering system seeks to predict the rating or preference. Here you are going to rate or either rate or preference. A user would give to an item of it. If we are all using all these things, so we will be having some preference as well as rating. One may be interested in Zoom, one may be interested in Google Meet, one may be interested in social distancing, and one may be interested in hand washing. Those who are often going out, they may be interested in hand washing. Those who are not willing to go out, that means they themselves are keeping social distancing. They might be concentrating either on food or they might be concentrating either on exercise, like that. Preference varies person to person. There are number of persons in this world. Based on their preference and rating, we are going to cluster. Those who are interested in social distancing, we are going to cluster them. Just like that, we cannot do the clustering. We are going to raise some questionnaires like this to them by giving some numerical values and applying for clustering techniques. If the data are very large, we are going to adopt tools either in the cloud form or in the ground form, and we are going to arrive at a conclusion which group is interested in social distancing and which group is interested in healthy and hygienic. After clustering, we are going to do the analyzation. The people who are maintaining social distance are those who are maintaining social distance. What are the troubles? What are the happiness they achieved? What are the contributions they are going to do in future and how they spend their time? Like that, you can do more analyzation. Those who are doing hand washing, they may be going out. And what is the reason for going out in this critic situations? We can analyze a pattern like this also. That is pattern. Recommender systems are utilized in a variety of areas and are most commonly recognized as playlist generators for video and music services. By this way only it has started from Netflix, YouTube and Spotify. I often use YouTube for listening slogas, and I used to visit Netflix. What are the recent cinemas? And I don't know what is Spotify. Product recommenders for services such as Amazon. Those who wish to buy the product, they may be interested in Snapdeal. There are a lot more e-servicing companies. Amazon that recommends for social media platforms such as Facebook and Twitter for effective communications or sometimes hopeless and useless communications. These systems can operate using a single input like music or multiple inputs within and across the platforms like news. Sometimes if we are not interested to read the hard copy of paper, means when we find leisure time, we will be reading e-papers, e-books and such queries based on our interest. There are also popular recommended systems for specific topic like restaurants. If I'm going somewhere else or I want to order pizza, there will be some recommended systems to order. Recommended systems have also been developed to explore research articles. What I have shown earlier, after digging and exploring this interesting information, I exhibited it to you. So it is also recommended system also very much helpful for the people who are doing research in a specific domain. Research articles and expert collaborators. We will be coming to understand who are all the experts to our area, and financial services, banking, like that. So see, day-to-day life, we are living in the recommended system. That means, as said in this statement, totally age of search has gone and we have entered into the recommendations. We are not going to search by ourselves. By hearing recommendations from the other persons, whether we require or not, we are interested or not, we are going to buy. That is the trick they are doing. Recommended systems in the industry are Spotify, Amazon, Netflix, YouTube, and Pandora. Information overloaded. Here are people read around 10 MB worth of material a day. Here 400 MB a day and see 1 MB of information every second. This data is provided in 2006. See to that now we are into 2020. Even small kid is using YouTube for hearing stories, everything. Then see to this data. Enormous number of data. In 2015, consumption will rise to from 10 to 74 GB a day. What are the values of recommendations? In Netflix, 2/3 of the movies watched are recommended. In Google News, recommendations generate 38% more dig-through. Amazon, 35% sales from recommendations. After recommendations only, by the chain of recommendations, this Amazon is getting a good sales. Choice stream, 28% of the people would buy more music if they found what they like. Approaches to recommendations. These are the approaches in the recommendation system. Collaborative filtering, this is the main one. Content-based, personalized learning to rank, demographic, social recommendations, and hybrid. Come here, clustering. By seeing all these informations, if we see this topic, we come to understand how this clustering is incorporated in the recommendation system. Another way to make recommendations based on the past purchases is to cluster customers. That means they are going to cluster customers. As I told yesterday, there are many number of clustering techniques, and we are going to see some of the research article where fuzzy clustering technique and K-means clustering technique are used in recommendation systems. By this way, we are going to create interest on this topic. By this interest, we are going to dig the informations north to west, east to south, across so many things. And finally, we are going to arrive at expertise. Each cluster will be assigned typical preferences. Suppose I prefer social distancing during the corona period, means yes, I depend on it, typical preferences. Google Meet, we are all interested in. Similarly, what else I have asked? I have forgotten that. The other one is what network you prefer. I prefer Airtel. So according to my preference, we are going to cluster based on the preferences of the customer who belong to the cluster. People who are using Airtel broadband, and if they come to meet me, we both will be enjoying and talking there our positive natures, because we have put together the same cluster because of the same interest. Customer within each cluster will receive recommendations computed at the cluster level. This is nothing but AlphaCut, what we have seen in fuzzy clustering. After ranking the matrix and the training data set and all, you come to this portion. Clustering by means of K-means and fuzzy clustering is done. By that way, we are going to cluster into n number of clusters. A new user is coming there, and he started to dig an information. Finding neighbors. Finding neighbor means those who are having the same sort of interest. How we are going to understand that a person in this group and a new user are going to have the same sort of interest by estimating a rating value. By that way, we are going to recommend that particular type of product or his wish to him. By this way, clustering technique, that is K means clustering and C means clustering, are highly used in recommender system. We are going to now see some of the interesting research articles in which this fuzzy C-means clustering is used. Sample research articles in recommended system using fuzzy clustering technique are going to be exhibited now. Recommended system using fuzzy C-means clustering and genetic algorithm means this fuzzy C-means clustering will not be keeping as such. As we know, we have all done research and some of you will be doing research, some of you are going to do research. Any of the existing findings will be modified or improved or restated or revisited for further research, and also will do some hybrids. This fuzzy C-means clustering is hybrided with genetic algorithm for further analyzation. That we don't want in this context. We are going to see how this fuzzy C-means clustering is used in the recommender system. In this approach, fuzzy C-means clustering technique has been applied to the data set. Yes, we all know that in order to apply this type of clustering, we require data set that is not even large data set, big data. We are going to see what actually a data under big data. And clustering is done on the basis of the ratings provided by the users in the data set. Ratings means we come to understand that we are going to convert verbal into numeric. Already we have seen in the very first day that linguistic variables and linguistic values. We are going to rating depends on the linguistic values. Who are all linguistic variables? We people are product is the linguistic variable. And to that product, they will be asking whether the product is good. Feedback filling. What you are doing every day. What you are doing every day is nothing but rating my lecture. Based on the rating of the data set, they are going to cluster which data set, the data set what they have taken for their research, and based on that they are going to provide the recommendations, that is filling feedback form. A novel optimization algorithm for recommender system using modified fuzzy C-means clustering. Here you can see the word modified. Here you can see the word. Here there is no as such fuzzy clustering, fuzzy C-means clustering is incorporated. But here they have supplied the result of the fuzzy C-means clustering to the genetic algorithm, second stage of research. Here they themselves modified the fuzzy C-means algorithm and apply it for recommender system doing novel optimization. What they have told here, recommender system is an emerging technique in information retrieval to handle a large amount of online data effectively. It provides recommendation to the online users in order to achieve their correct decisions or items or services quickly and easily. In order to have correct decisions on the items, whether we are very much happy with the item or we are very much happy with the services. In the feedback page itself, we can see the product is good, but service is not good, like the service is very bad. Some people will be giving the feedback that services is good, but product is not good, like that. How that feedback is posted in the common web by based on the recommendations. Collaborative filtering they are going to use mainly they are going to use this collaborative system to the online users based on rating similarity with other users. We know that fuzzy clustering or clustering technique is an unsupervised learning. That also I told in the yesterday's lecture. This class of CF is nothing but collaborative filtering suffers. That means there's a drawback by hiring error rate and takes more iterations for convergence. This study proposes modified fuzzy C-means clustering approach to eliminate these issues. What are the issues? More iterations in our fuzzy C-means clustering is going to get comparatively less iterations and it is error free. By this way, they are incorporating modified fuzzy C-means in the recommender system. A Easter fuzzy clustering approach for a recommender system has very important role nowadays, be it business, e-commerce, search engines, entertainment, etc. Search engines also they are having good competency. Chrome, sometimes we are not able to get the recent informations like Google search, Microsoft search, and so on. The need for faster, dynamic, and efficient recommender system arise with huge data. Yes, nowadays we are delivering enormous number of data, more than the population in this world. More than the population in this world, what existing is data, huge data. Data are exceeding our numbers. Huge data on the internet and website platform. A movie or anime recommender system has a major role in delivering important entertainments. Plenty full of recommender techniques has been proposed, but most are not able to provide useful recommendation within a very short span of time. In this paper, we aim to propose fuzzy clustering based recommender system, which is almost quite efficient and accurate. Because of this reason, they are using. Now we have just seen. I have kindled your interest in order to learn fuzzy clustering. I hope that you all have some interest on learning fuzzy clustering. Am I right? Give your interest in the chat box. Let me see, please. Am I kindled some interest to learn fuzzy clustering? Can you hear me?
Participants, you can type the comments in your chat box.
Is it making you to learn what is there in the fuzzy clustering like that? You may be feeling that why I have deviated from the topic. Now you come to understand the reason for deviating is nothing but to kindle your interest to learn what you appreciated now, not my lecture, what information you come to understand. Please give me fast. I want to get into the topic. What do you come to understand? Have you enjoyed that we are living in the era of recommendations? Do you agree with me? Are we living in the searching era or are we living in the recommendation era? How many of you know this? Know these informations earlier that in there is a recommender system, and in that recommender system, fuzzy clustering technique is going to find its applications a lot. It is motivated for doing research. Very fine. Still more missed previous lecture of yours, and can you kindly give your lecture video? No problem. I'm going to give a small recap on the previous 2 days lecture because I come to understand that some of you have not attended first day, some of you have not attended second day, and so on. Now we are going to get into the topic of fuzzy clustering rigorously by recapping the last 2 days lecture. Only very few are giving your chat. Okay, no problem. As comment posted in the chat box, I'm answering. It is already pre-planned, not for that particular participant. It is to most of the participants. But this recap will be very fast. Just you come to understand what is what. He is the man who is the father of mathematics. He only invented fuzzy mathematics and he published his invention in the article Information and Control under the heading fuzzy sets in the year 1965. What is the information it carries? Zade extended the work on the possibility theory. Already there's a possibility theory. He extended that work into a formal system of mathematical logic and introduced a new concept for applying natural language system. Now, this is a very important word, natural language system. Because of that natural language uncertainty and imprecision arise in the natural language system, there is a need to get into a new world, that is a world between 0 and 1 membership. He is the man who helped to tackle. Prior to the year 1965, people used to believe that it is a probability theory which can tackle the different types of uncertainties in this world. But in the year 1965, L.A. Zade, professor, University of California, told that There are many uncertainties in this particular world, and the principles of probability theory probability theory can handle only chances out of different uncertainties. There are few uncertainties which cannot be tackled by probability. So he has invented, because of this idea arise in his mind, he has invented fuzzy set theory, that already there is an existence of 0 to 1 valency, that is probability theory. While probability theory is addressing uncertainties, what is the need to invent one more subject which also addresses the same 0 to 1 valency? But the concept addresses by the probability theory is entirely different from the concept addresses by the fuzzy set theory. Probability theory is also addressing uncertainties with the word chances, that is futuristic addressing, but fuzzy set theory addressing imprecision and uncertainty already existing in the natural language. That is, we were in the transition stage. Transition with respect to what? With respect to membership value. This membership value is nothing but degree of belongingness. Degree of belongingness means already there will be some belongingness concept. Where does that belongingness concept? Where? That is in the crisp concept. That is in the crisp set. In the crisp set also we were dealing with the degree of belongingness and how assigning degree of belongingness in the crisp set differs from the fuzzy set. It differs through the functions like characteristic function for crisp set and fuzzy membership function for the fuzzy set. And what is the difference? It is going to give only the value either 0 or 1. This is going to assign the value between 0 to 1. This is a non-fuzzy environment. This is a fuzzy environment for measuring tallness of particular persons. With respect to tallness, we must not abruptly assign 0 to a person. So it is totally meaningless. That is, uncertainty is there. So to avoid that assigning membership value in uncertainty, where does that uncertainty arise? In the word tall. In the word tall, tall is not going to possess any universal value, universal numeric value. It differs person to person and perception to perception, context to context. So because of that, this crisp environment, otherwise called as non-fuzzy environment, cannot address this type of problems. So fuzzy comes into the picture in the assignment of membership value for eradicating uncertainty present in some of the linguistic values such as tall. See here, this person is getting the value 0 in the non-fuzzy environment, but this person is getting some say 0.3 in the fuzzy environment. Getting 0.3 is some way better than getting 0. So it is totally meaningless. It is totally, it is a foolishness also we can say, by calling non-fuzzy set to address this type of problems. Only fuzzy problems can address. There may be other subject also you dig and understand. And we understood what are the precise reasoning. See here, the values are concrete. Since the values are concrete in this statements, this is called as precise facts. These are called as imprecise facts. In the place of 18, just I have given cool. In the place of 100 kilometer, it is fast. In the place of 15 years old, it is young. Unless otherwise I come to understand the concrete age, I may be in some uncertainty. So, whoever may be in uncertainty, I am giving a technique to overcome that uncertainty. That technique is nothing but fuzzy sets. This is for fuzzy logic, if and then involved, so it is fuzzy logic. Fuzzy logic means both input and output will be designed by us. Based on that, we are going to do analyzation. And uncertainty also we have studied. Uncertainty depends on two categories, one on fuzzy, another on randomness. Randomness is chance. Chance is dealt by probability. Here, membership, that is dealt by possibility theory. Because of the existence of linguistic variables in this world, but if there is a need to address those linguistic values of the linguistic variable and numeric value. Before inventing fuzzy set theory, we were addressing all the linguistic values through probability theory. Zade come to understand it is meaningless to assign all the linguistic values into numeric values through probability theory. So, linguistic variables plays an very important role. Without linguistic variables, there is no fuzzy. What is linguistic variable? Let us understand through an example. Temperature is cool. Temperature means that the temperature can be substituted by some another member for taking the word cold, warm like that. So this is variable and this is linguistic values to these linguistic variables. That means any noun is going to take linguistic variables and the adjective is going to take linguistic values. How should we address that adjectives? That is very much important. From the linguistic variable, we are going to have so many linguistic value for it. For example, very low, low, medium, high, and very high are linguistic values. Say this may be temperature. Temperature may be very low, low, medium, high, and very high and all. What should we do? We are in the position to assign value to this. Can I assign value to these linguistic values through probability theory? Is it meaningful? How this very low can be addressed through the principles of probability theory? It is totally meaningless because there is no meaning about chance here. Is there any chance for taking very low by the temperature? If that is a question means, then that can be addressed by probability theory. That is not the question. Temperature is very low is an already happened incident. So that already happened incident, I am going to assign a numeric value. What should I do? I am having some trouble. Zade helped me to assign that numeric value to the linguistic values. These are called as linguistic value. That means we are supplying very low value to the temperature. So only it is called as linguistic value. Since it is in the language form, it is called as linguistic. But I cannot do any more analyzation with this linguistic value. Human can do analyzation. Human brain can do analyzation. But I am wishing to analyze these words by computer system. In order to make the system to do analyzation, it must be provided with numeric data. So I am in the position to convert these all linguistic informations into numeric data. That type process is called as semantic rule. By means of the semantic rule, I can convert this into corresponding numeric value. That is fuzzy constraints. This very interesting table. Linguistic variables may be temperature and speed. Their corresponding linguistic value will be hot, cold, warm. With respect to speed, what value I can assign to speed? Slow, medium, fast. This you can have adjectives. These are nouns. Numeric value conversion is fuzzy. Numeric value means getting the degree of belongingness value, getting the degree of belongingness of slow in the speed context. That will be supported by fuzzy numbers, and the fuzzy numbers are triangular, trapezoidal, sigmoidal, self-defining, etc. Triangular means among all the members in your universal collection, exactly only one member attains the maximum value. Only one member attains the maximum value means you can opt triangular value. If there are more than one member attaining the same value means you can go for trapezoidal. I think that you can understand. Look to this diagram. I am giving same value. I am giving same value to the members present here. Present here means here there are more than one members attaining the same value. At the situation, I must opt trapezoidal. If a particular application is taking only one member is taking the highest value means you have to merge these two things. That means that particular person will be taking the highest value. So it will exhibit the diagram triangle. That is the skill hidden in assigning triangular as well as trapezoidal fuzzy numbers to specific applications. Designing fuzzy numbers requires some special skill. Special skill can be achieved through expertise. Expertise can be achieved through practice. The word expertise only I have started today. you need more and more practice, interest and practice. We have transferred ourselves from single valued logic, that is complement, unary operator. Complement is a single valued logic. Two valued logic is 1, 0. Logic sets, other version of set is the logic. So we must not see both the things in a different form. Assigning value to the set, we will be arriving in the land of logic. Two valued logic, three valued logic. With the Tumblr example, we have seen three valued logic. Land Lucas found that multi-valued logic with finite and multi-valued logic infinite 0, 1. Look to this example. Here is the example. We are closing. Introduction of fuzzy. With respect to the fuzzy, linguistic variables and its corresponding linguistic value plays an important role. With the example that temperature is the linguistic variable and their corresponding linguistic values are cold, cool, warm, hot. The same here also is given. What is the difference that you can observe? Here they are giving the membership value through triangular form, membership form. Here it is given with the trapezoidal membership form. That means assigning membership value to the linguistic variable warm is not on the context of study. It depends on the context of study. So people are struggling to assign membership value to a corresponding linguistic variable. Now we are arriving in the slide which exhibits how these two are interrelated. Since the value 0 is embedded in interval 0, 1, similarly the value 0 is embedded in the interval 0, 1, it shows that crisp set theory is the subset of fuzzy set theory. And this is the definition of fuzzy set. To every member, we are going to assign corresponding membership value between 0 to 1. Here you can observe the term X. What is this another set? This another set is nothing but property set defined on the universal collection. Based on the property set defined on the universal collection, every member of the universal collection are going to assign the values between 0 and 1. By that way, we are going to see the operations on fuzzy set. Equality operation, complement operation means universal x minus a is given here by the value for the universal set is 1 minus mu a of x. Similarly, union, I have explained detail how maximum is attached for finding union. Similarly, how minimum is attached for finding intersection. Convexity also is one of the important concept that we require for clustering. In yesterday's class itself, I told that all the points should exactly lie inside the cluster. Should lie inside a particular region means that has to be dealt with convexity. Convexity should be preserved for clustering. K means clustering and fuzzy C means clustering. The structure we are going to arrive at spherical in nature. And these are the two important properties that fails in fuzzy set. It should not as such generalize. The thing that are happening here should not just like generalized in this context. It should be it should exhibit some difference from this set. What is the difference it is exhibiting? The difference it is exhibiting is nothing but it is not satisfying these two properties. A intersection A bar is equal to empty is not satisfied because suppose if we are assigning value to a member through this fuzzy set A is 0.3 means its complement will be 0.7. While taking the minimum value, it will be 0.3, so it will not be equal to 0. Like that, it will be 0.7, it will not be equal to 1. Because of this, law of contradiction and law of excluded middle fails in fuzzy sets. And these are other more definitions that can be found in fuzzy context. Support, normal, alpha cut, level set, convex fuzzy set, fuzzy number, magnitude of fuzzy set, subset of fuzzy set, and so on. This alpha cut I told in one of the research paper. And this is the difference between crisp set and fuzzy set and the fuzzy set and probability set. One should compulsorily know about this difference to get expertise in fuzzy set theory. and the growth of fuzzy set theory in the application area. He is an Iranian American. He found his fuzzy set theory in 1965, but in 1970 it is developed in Japan, and once again in the United Kingdom. See, he is an American, but it has gone to Japan and United Kingdom. Like Buddhism arise in our country and spread to the other countries such as Sri Lanka, Malaysia, and so on. It arise in America, but it started booming in Japan, United Kingdom, and in the areas such as traffic conditions. And Japanese are mainly using this fuzzy logic in their industrial application, especially in olden days. We could have heard about an advertisement, fuzzy logic udayadu in the washing machine. That means they have incorporated the concept of fuzzy in washing machine. How much powder we should put into the machine, how much amount of water has to be let inside the washing machine, how much hours it should take depends on the nature of the cloth to wash. All those things are addressed by fuzzy, and that addressing is converted into tool, and tool is converted into the technology of washing. And it started to boom from 1987 onwards. Now also it is having boom because of the incorporating in the intelligent system. Intelligent system, what we are working is digital system, that is one and zero brain. To address that human brain, we require linguistic knowledge. Linguistic knowledge will be there. So to address that linguistic knowledge, fuzzy sets comes into the picture for using intelligent systems. Intelligent system will be doing decision making, pattern recognition, optimization, and control. Look to this example. This example says that automatic braking system. In order to do the thing automatically, it is meaningless to use this system. Depends on what linguistic it has to do the automation. Closeness or farness. Closeness of this car or farness of this car. With respect to the linguistic value closeness, it is totally meaningless if we assign the value 0 or 1. But 0 to 1 we can assign for closeness and for farness. That will be meaningful for doing automatic braking system. Already I told this application, microwave oven. And very interesting one is fuzzy collision avoidance on ships. To see to this situation, there may be a chance for the collision by the ships. In order to avoid that, they are incorporating a technique, that is fuzzy technique, how to avoid the collision. Now, up to this, we have seen information in day 1. In day 2, we have started looking upon the clustering system and K-means clustering. Clustering system means these data are unlabeled data among itself. They will be in the mixed mode form. From the mixed mode, we are going to identify the clusters. See here, star and red color, circle and green color, diamond and blue color. By that way, we have separated this mixed collection into some meaningful collection. Some meaningful collection means how many data are here? 4, 9, 10, 11, 12. As a mixed mode, there are 12 data. If I wish to incorporate any strategy into this 12 data member, I may be in struggle. Should I need to design strategy for each and every individual member? It will be very tedious for me also, even though I am keeping employee of only 12 members. After clustering this into 3 different groups, say teaching, non-teaching, and technical persons like that, then it will be easy for me to design a strategy, to design any policy, to design any conditions like that. To that type of problems, this clustering will be very much helpful. From 12 set data to I have split into 3 data sets. This will be called as 1, 2, and 3. 12 element data set is converted into 3 element data set by grouping. But what will be the objective for this grouping? That means minimizing the intra-distance among the clusters and maximizing the distance between the clusters. So once again, we all know that there are two different types of computing, soft and hard. Hard is 0,1, soft is 1,0. And the clustering belongs to the clustering and fuzzy. C means clustering. K means clustering is nothing but non-overlapping clustering. It should not overlap at any cost. Fuzzy C means clustering means it can possess some overlapping. We are saying this overlapping and non-overlapping in the verbal form. How are we going to exhibit in the numeric form? That is the matter that we are going to see today. What are the mathematics that are involved in our clustering techniques? I told you in the very first star diagram, some statistics, data science with respect to metric space, distance measure. By distance, we are going to separate the data, and connected and compactness property has to be preserved by the clusters. Convexity is compulsorily there. Members should completely inside the cluster, and Lagrangian multiplier concept is incorporated in fuzzy clustering. These are enormous number of applications: customer segmentation, document clustering, image segmentation, recommended engines. Now only we have seen what a recommended engine is, marketing, biology, library, city planning, earthquake, document classification. More than that, market research, pattern recognition, data analysis, image processing. Enormous. We traveled through the way of introduction of fuzzy sets, and then what actually a clustering is, and what specifically K-means clustering is. Anyway, now, yes, who is disturbing? What do you want? Any requirement from my side? Anything required? Shall I proceed? Organizers?
Ma'am, you proceed, ma'am.
There was some disturbance, so only I come. Okay, from introduction to fuzzy set clustering. Now we arrived at specifically fuzzy clustering. Sorry, K means clustering. What do you mean by the word K? You will be provided with n data sets. You will be provided with n data sets with m attributes. With that data set, you have to partition this clustering. We should only say how many number of clusters I require. Suppose there is a data with n number of data and m number of attributes. Here compulsorily you must incorporate attributes, specifically multivariate. What do you mean by multivariate? Enormous number of attributes should be there with respect to that data. You may be interested in clustering the data into 5 groups. I may be interested in clustering the data into 3 groups. So with the same data, both of us may be having different. Someone is asked them to mute the mic. It is disturbing my flow.
Rajesh Kumar sir. Rajesh Kumar sir. Sir, please mute yourself, sir.
Give that in the chat box. If you are not interested in listening, means ask him to mute.
It's not listening.
If anyone having mobile,
Victor sir, please mute Rajesh Kumar sir.
There are many people struggling a lot by not getting entered.
Ma'am, you proceed, ma'am. Sorry for disturbance.
Okay. So people may be having different interests regarding K. That is the main drawback of K-means clustering. The same one, I may be interested in some other K1 or K2. And history regarding K-means clustering, he is the man who contributed much for GEE, that is in the year 1966. And the main, what does this K in the K-means algorithm mean? The K-means algorithm is an algorithm to cluster n objects. Already I told you with m number of attributes. It is hidden here into k partitions. What is the relationship between this k and n? K must be less than, strictly less than n. This is the algorithm. Algorithm is you start and decide how many number of clusters you require. Clusters will be posted. Okay, I will tell it later. Decide how many number of clusters and calculate centroid and find the distance. All these informations I have told in the necessary mathematics. This is statistics and this is a metric space. And the cluster has to preserve compactness and completeness. So these are the required mathematics. Data sciences, without data, we cannot do all these process. And since it is an iterative process, compulsorily we should have two informations. One is initialization, another one is convergence. So initialization starts with how many number of clusters. Not only that, we have to initially take the membership matrix for the cluster. Membership matrix for the cluster. That is the initialization we will start. That is U0. And we have to do this process again and again, so iteratively. And we must verify the convergence. How can we verify the convergence criteria? That is, centroids of newly formed clusters do not change. That means centroid of the newly arrived cluster and the previous cluster should be same. That alone is enough. Points remain. If it occurs, means automatically it will occur. Because of these two occurrence, it automatically mean. That means we have attained maximum number of iterations. The other domain in which this K-means clustering and fuzzy K-means clustering are mainly incorporated is machine learning, which is booming nowadays. Because of the advancement in nanotechnology, memory level has increased. Because of the increase in the memory level through the nanotechnology, machine learning has taken its boom as fuzzy taken its boom in the year 1987. But machine learning was there 40 years ago, but it was not in the boom. Because of the nanotechnology, because of the advancement in the nanotechnology, memory of the system is unexpected level of rising. So machine learning has come into picture. In this machine learning, they are working mostly with the recommended system, because people are using machine learning for business purpose. So business purpose means recommendation, e-marketing, whatever EE I told in the very first beginning, that are mainly working in machine learning. In that machine learning, unsupervised learning is one of the part. In that unsupervised part, learning, clustering problem is the main one. In that, K-means clustering is used, and its advancement is fuzzy C-means, that is also used. These are the advantages and limitations of K-means clustering that we have just given. I have just given only the preamble regarding K-means clustering. Now we are going to address this K-means clustering through the core part. Core part is nothing but in the mathematical part. What initially we require to do K-means clustering? Data. Without data, we cannot do anything. What type of data we require? What should be the structure of the data? Data what we possess must contain some features. Features are nothing but attributes. I will tell it in later. That specifically multivariate. Multivariate means there should be samples with enormous number of features. Feature set are otherwise called as attributes. Features, properties of data sets are meant here as variables. We usually call that as a dimensions. Dimensions in mathematical aspect. Dimension, attributes, features, and properties all are same. Because of the word property, we are going to define property set on the universal collection for determining membership through principal set 0 on one aspect, through fuzzy set in 0 to 1 aspect. So property, feature, attribute are all same. This is the structure of the data. Without this data, you cannot do anything. we can manually do fuzzy clustering or C-means clustering only for 2-dimensional data. Even for 3-dimensional data, it will take a lot more time. 3-dimensional data to on meaningful n-dimensional data, we will be working with ground systems. When the data are unimaginably large, that is big data, we are going for cloud computing. And on what principles this K-means clustering is going to work? Not only K-means clustering and also fuzzy C-means clustering, but there is a difference between K-means clustering and fuzzy C-means clustering. K-means clustering only addressing the principle of partition. Partition means non-overlapping clusters. All we have studied in our lower classes in the set theory. See, with a very simple informations, this Forgy that scientists know in 1965 or 66 skillfully designed an algorithm which is taking an important role in this era. He has found that in 1965, but it is highly useful to address intelligent systems in the year 1920. So how effectively he has done? He has not incorporated any integration, differentiation, differential equations and so on. Very elementary level of mathematics is required, that is finding mean, finding Euclidean distance, and he has tailored the theorem in a very skillful way to do the clustering of n data with m attributes. Surely we should appreciate him and hats off to him. This is the principle of partition in the set theoretical concept. In the logical theory concept, that is membership concept, true or false. True or false is otherwise called as 0 or 1. We should understand the meaning for this representation. The meaning is, if this notation represents membership value, how I am saying that as a membership value? Because of the presence of chi. Membership value of the kth data point. To data point, I am going to assign the variable k. Suffix means kth data point. Capital A refers to the set. Represent the membership value of kth data point in the ith subset of capital X. See, all these informations are to be understood well. Then only you can understand clustering algorithm when you come across any book or e-materials. And this is called as the partition space. Why it is called as a partition space? As far as doing partition in set, suppose we are having only one set without any attribute. Suppose say that you are having capital X as 3 element set, x1, x2 and x3. How many number of elements will be there in the partition space? That is 2 power n. 2 power n contains 2 power 3, 8. 8 different subsets we can have. That means attaining at different non-overlapping subsets. Collection of different non-overlapping subsets are called as partition in the set theoretical background. But what is the difference between that partition space and this partition space? That partition space will not possess any attributes, but this partition space will possess attributes, as well as we are going to decide how many number of clusters we require. Based on the clusters as well as the number of data, not on the number of attributes, we are going to arrive at the non-overlapping partition collection. Since it is called as a partition collection, it is going to be called as a partition space. Space is nothing but collection. Topological space we used to say like that. Here we are assigning the word partition space. This is the partition space and it is denoted by M suffix C. It is going to contain element, the name of that element is U, but what is the structure of that element? Structure of that element is a matrix. How the matrix should be? Matrix means immediately we have to say what are the things that should be posted in the row and what are the things that has to be posted in the column. In the rows, we are going to post the clusters. In the column, we are going to post the number of elements. Suppose you are having 3 elements, 1, 2, 3, sorry, let us say take 5 elements. 5 elements and I wish to cluster it into 2 different groups. What will be the order of the matrix? What will be the order of the matrix? I told you already that in the rows you are going to keep number of clusters. In the column you are going to keep number of attributes. Then what will be the order of the